Manchester United are back at Old Trafford. The players have returned to Carrington for what promises to be one of the most important and most significant training weeks of the entire season, because on Sunday afternoon, the Theatre of Dreams hosts a fixture that could define the entire trajectory of this Champions League qualification race. Aston Villa are coming to Old Trafford. Both clubs level on points in the Premier League table. Both clubs desperate for 3 points. Both clubs fully aware that the outcome of this 90 minutes could have enormous consequences for where they both end up come May. Michael Carrick tasted defeat for the first time as Manchester United manager last Wednesday at Newcastle. A 2-1 loss to a Newcastle side that finished the match with 10 men, a result that ended the remarkable 11-game unbeaten run that had captured the imagination of the entire football world and announced Carrick's second stint in charge of this club as something genuinely special and genuinely sustainable, rather than a temporary bounce built on new manager energy. The defeat hurt. Carrick said so himself. Bitterly disappointed, he told the media afterwards, "It hurts tonight." And those words were not the manufactured disappointment of a manager going through the motions. They were the honest expression of a man who had invested everything into building something at this club and felt the pain of watching it fall short for the first time. But results elsewhere on that Wednesday evening actually worked in United's favour, with the other teams around them in the table also dropping points, meaning United remained third in the Premier League despite the defeat. That small piece of good fortune means that Sunday's home game against Villa is not yet the crisis match it could have been. It is still a massive match. It is still a 6-pointer against a direct rival for the Champions League places, but United go into it in a position of genuine control rather than desperation, and the extended break between the Newcastle loss and Sunday's kickoff has given Carrick and his coaching staff the time to reset, to recover, and to prepare in the most thorough and detailed way possible. And the injury news coming out of Carrington this week is significantly more positive than many had feared after the Newcastle match, with Carrick potentially set to welcome back 3 important players who have been missing from his squad in recent weeks. The timing of these potential returns could not be better, because facing an Aston Villa side that has been competing in European football and whose energy levels will be considerably lower than United's after playing in the Europa League on Thursday night is exactly the kind of fixture where fresh legs and renewed quality can make the decisive difference. Mason Mount is the player whose potential return has been generating the most excitement and the most anticipation among United supporters, because the England midfielder has barely featured under Carrick despite his obvious quality and his clear ability to add a different dimension to the way this team plays in the number 8 role. Mount has been sidelined since picking up a training ground injury following his cameo in January's Manchester City victory, a frustrating setback for a player who had been building momentum and confidence under the new manager. But Carrick confirmed before the Crystal Palace win that Mount was back on the grass and looking at being around it pretty soon. And with the Villa game representing the perfect opportunity to bring a quality player back into a high-stakes home fixture, the possibility of seeing Mount in a United shirt on Sunday is genuinely exciting. The patience has been applied carefully and deliberately, with Carrick making it clear that he wants Mount fully ready for a big finish to the season rather than rushing him back prematurely and risking a further setback. Lisandro Martinez is the second name on the potential returns list, and his comeback would arguably have the most significant tactical impact of any player coming back into the squad this weekend. The Argentine centre-back has been sidelined since sustaining a calf injury ahead of last month's Everton match, missing the Newcastle game after Carrick confirmed he simply would not be with the squad. Martinez was an absolutely central figure in Carrick's first 5 Premier League matches, completing the full 90 minutes in every single one of them and forming a defensive partnership with Harry Maguire that gave the team the kind of organisational solidity and defensive leadership that had been completely absent during the Amorim era. His return alongside Maguire would restore the best central defensive combination Carrick has at his disposal and would give United a significantly better platform to build from against what will be a technically accomplished and physically strong Villa attacking unit. Noussair Mazraoui is the third player being assessed ahead of Sunday, though his situation is slightly more uncertain after the Moroccan fullback picked up an undisclosed knock in the closing stages of the Newcastle defeat, limping off in the 85th minute to be replaced by Tyrell Malacia. Carrick provided no specific update on the nature or severity of the injury on Wednesday evening, but the decent break between the Newcastle game and Sunday's Villa clash means Mazraoui will be given every possible opportunity to prove his fitness before any decision is made. His return to the starting lineup at right-back last Wednesday marked his first appearance since departing for the Africa Cup of Nations in December, and the timing and quality of that performance suggested he is close to his best physical condition. Whether the knock he sustained in the closing stages is serious enough to keep him out on Sunday remains to be seen. The longer-term injury picture at United continues to be one of frustrating complexity. Matthijs de Ligt remains the most prolonged and most concerning absence in the squad, having not featured since sustaining a lower back injury at Crystal Palace back in November. Carrick provided an honest assessment of the situation at his most recent briefing, explaining that the nature of the injury makes it genuinely difficult to pin down a precise timeline for his return, while also stressing that de Ligt is definitely improving and that the medical staff are working carefully towards getting him back. The absence of any specific return date is the kind of uncertainty that every manager dreads when they are building a team around a particular defensive structure, but the positive news is that progress is being made even if its pace is frustratingly slow. Patrick Dorgu's situation carries a fascinating subplot that extends beyond Manchester United into international football. The exciting young Danish wingback, who had been producing some of the most dynamic and direct attacking play United had seen from any wide player in years before his hamstring tear in the Arsenal win, was given an initial 10-week recovery timeline. But Denmark national team head coach Brian Riemer recently revealed that Dorgu has been dreaming of being available for the March international break, when his country will be attempting to qualify for the World Cup. Riemer said he would only help keep that dream alive as long as the opportunity exists, which is the kind of careful and diplomatic language that suggests Dorgu's recovery is progressing, but that his return remains dependent on how the next few weeks unfold. For United, the realistic target remains late March or early April, and every day that passes without a setback brings Carrick's most energetic and most direct attacking option closer to the pitch. The context surrounding Sunday's Villa clash extends well beyond the immediate Premier League standings. United are third on 45 points, level with Villa in fourth, and 3 points clear of both Chelsea in fifth and Liverpool in sixth. The margins are razor thin. Chelsea have been in strong form. Liverpool are always dangerous, and any slip by United on Sunday could see the entire picture at the top of the Champions League qualification race shift dramatically before the week is out. Winning on Sunday does not just maintain the current position, it creates separation. It sends a message to every team below that United under Carrick are not going to be dislodged from their European ambitions without a genuine fight. And there is an additional tactical advantage that United will be looking to exploit on Sunday afternoon that cannot be overlooked. While United have had a full week to recover, prepare and arrive at this game completely fresh, Aston Villa will have played in the Europa League on Thursday night before travelling to Manchester for a Sunday lunchtime kickoff. The physical and mental demands of a European fixture midweek, followed by a Premier League six-pointer just 3 days later, are enormous for any squad. And Carrick's ability to field a rested and revitalised United team against a Villa side that may be carrying fatigue and tiredness could prove to be the decisive edge in what promises to be an extremely tight and extremely competitive contest. Carrick has spoken throughout his time in charge about knowing what it means to play for this club, about the standards that are required, about the trust that has been placed in him and in the players by the supporters who pack Old Trafford every home game with belief and with expectation. The Newcastle defeat was a reminder that nothing in football is ever guaranteed, that unbeaten runs end, that even the best laid tactical plans can be undone by a single moment of misfortune or individual error. But the response to that defeat, the way the squad has regrouped at Carrington this week, the possible returns of Mount and Martinez and Mazraoui, the home advantage, the physical edge over a tired Villa side, all of it points towards a United performance on Sunday that is built on clarity, hunger and the fierce determination to get back to winning immediately. Old Trafford is ready. The players are preparing. The tactical work is being done with the same patient and methodical precision that has defined every aspect of Carrick's management since January. And on Sunday afternoon, under the lights of the Theatre of Dreams, Manchester United have everything they need to send the most powerful possible response to last Wednesday's defeat and take another enormous step towards the Champions League football that this club, these players and these supporters so desperately deserve. The preparation is complete, the opportunity is here, and Michael Carrick's Manchester United are ready to make Old Trafford count. In other news, Manchester United legend Paul Scholes has revealed that former teammate Michael Carrick wasn't upset by his social media message sent in the aftermath of the loss against Newcastle. United fell to a 2-1 loss at St James's Park on Wednesday night, their first defeat since Carrick took over. Under the interim manager, United have won 6 of the 8 Premier League games, drawing 1, with the one loss coming against the Magpies. The impressive form has seen them climb up into 3rd place in the Premier League table, which is a boost to their hopes of qualifying for the Champions League. Despite that, Scholes sent a post on social media in the aftermath of the defeat, appearing to criticise Carrick and the United players. He wrote, "Michael has definitely got something special about him because United have been expletive last 4 games." He later deleted the post. Speaking on his The Good, the Bad and the Football podcast on Monday, Scholes has now explained the message and revealed a conversation with Carrick over it. "It was in no way intended to be offensive towards Michael," he said. "Michael is one of the nicest people you will ever meet in football. He'd be the last person that I would want to offend. I messaged Michael anyway. I went straight to Michael and said, look, I was never intending to upset you. And I don't think I needed to say that anyway, and he told me himself he wasn't upset by it." Reacting to the post on the Rest is Football podcast, former Newcastle striker Alan Shearer labelled it as weird. Host Gary Lineker said, "You see, there's a little bit of beef between Paul Scholes and Michael Carrick. He's digging him out, isn't he? He's not exactly being very supportive of his old teammate, is he?" Shearer then responded with, "It's weird, isn't it?" Lineker then added, "It's weird, isn't it? Maybe there's a bit of history there, who knows?" Fellow pundit Micah Richards said, "I need a fact checker on that though. I don't believe it's true. Everyone is saying it's true. It has got on all the headlines from social media. But if he did say that, Scholesy, Paul Scholes, when you see him, he is one of the nicest guys ever. And I don't think he has got any aspirations to be a coach. As an ex-teammate, I thought they had love for each other, but it was strange to say the least."